Alright guys, so freshly back from C2E2. I just spent the last 3 days there. Definitely feel it in my feet. I'm not going to do an intro or anything on that for this. I apologize if I sound tired. Like I said, it was a pretty exhausting couple days. Did want to mention I met up with Chonko from Chonko Comics and Nerd Culture. Spent some time with him the first day. Great dude. If you haven't checked out his channel, check out his channel. Chonko Comics and Nerd Culture. So like I said, spent some time with him. He had some pretty cool pickups. He posted a video about it. Definitely check out his stuff. You know, give him some support. Yeah, we'll go through some of the stuff I got. I didn't pick up a lot in volume, but I did get some pretty interesting stuff. I try to take some video at the convention. It's hard to enjoy the show and try and record. So if you stick around to the end of this video, I'll have some footage from the show itself, some cosplay, a little bit of walking around. I don't do the like meetups and stuff, so I didn't really do any of that. Did meet with a lot of comic book vendors. I like talking comics with them, seeing kind of what the market's doing. It looked like it was pretty slow for the most part for a lot of vendors. So yeah, so let's get into some of the stuff I got. So this first one, Greg Horn. So I really like his art. I thought this was cool. I buy stuff like this to support the artist. This obviously isn't a book I'm going to flip or something that has high value, but it is the C2E2 exclusive. You can see the Sears Tower, whatever they call it, whatever it's called now in the background says C2E2. And this is actually Ghost Rider, so that's Nicolas Cage's Ghost Rider. Again, just a cool Virgin cover. It is numbered on the bottom. This is 16 out of 100, so low print run. Again, it's not going to have a bunch of value. I think the exclusive stuff's a gimmick a lot of times, but I did really like the cover, so pick that up. This next one also just picked up for the cover. I really like that. This is again Greg Horn. I didn't have him sign either one of these. He does like a really cool signature with like a circle thing, but I just kept them raw. So I'm just, again, as an X-Men guy, we're just putting that in the collection. So really cool cover. I do like that a lot. This is an older book. I think this is from like 2020 or 2021, but it's just a great cover. I also picked up a couple of the Peach Momoko exclusives, the Rivals. These were from Trinity Comics. You got the trade dress and the Virgin. The trade dress, nothing crazy about it. The Virgin is limited to 888, and you can see there it comes with the little COA. This is 119 out of 888. So the Marvel or Rivals exclusive from Trinity. And again, I just got the set. I think you needed to buy them both to get the Virgin. I will probably have those slabbed. They're good looking books. It is, you know, like I've said it before, sometimes their stuff is great and sometimes it's just horrible. So I thought this was really good work. Again, we'll get into the obligatory every video X-Men book. It doesn't look like anything special, just an X-Men 307. But this is actually the Pressman variant. This book is impossible to find in high grade. You had to buy a board game. I think this one was actually the one you had to buy the board game and then mail in for it too. There's, I believe, 3 Pressman variants. There's 2 in the regular Uncanny X-Men series, and then there's one in the 1991 X-Men series reboot. I think this was the only one you had to mail in for. I think the other 2 actually came inside the board game. And again, they're just tough to find. They're really tough to find in high grade. This is probably a 9.8 candidate. It's one of the few X-Men books I did not have, so now I do. So I was pretty happy to pick that up. This next thing is more of a childhood. Just I wanted to meet this guy. So when I was 13 years old, I bought a Star Wars novel. It was the first book I ever read on my own that I wasn't forced to read for school, like Where the Red Fern Grows or something like that. So it was the first book I chose to read. I was 13. It was 1991. It was by Timothy Zahn, and I read it on vacation at my aunt's house in Florida. I read it over our vacation. I know it sounds boring, but our aunt lived on a trailer park, or my mom's cousin called her my aunt. She lived on like a trailer park. She owned a trailer park in Florida. That's where we go on vacation every year. It was really boring. So I read the book. So it was a Timothy Zahn book. So he just released this, The Thrawn Ascendancy. But he was there. I got to meet him, tell him I appreciated his books. I think I've read every book he's written since then. And I did get it autographed. I got it signed. It's not autographed. Signed by him to me. So that was pretty cool. again, just something cool for me, you know, that, like I said, as a kid, it got me into where I enjoyed reading a lot. It kind of helped me get into comic books. So it was just cool. It was nice to meet the guy. I think I made him feel old when I said I was 13 when I first started reading him. And I think his first book was published in like 1970. If you like reading, especially Star Wars stuff, like he does really good additions to the original Star Wars story. Take out the new stuff, but like the pre-new stuff that came out, he really added onto that original story and had a lot of after the Star Wars with Leia and Luke and Han and you know, their relationships and their kids growing up, and really good stuff. So Timothy Zahn, if you get a chance to check him out, I definitely would. And then this next book, I already have a copy of this. It's out of the bag. This is Iron Fist 14. So I do have a copy of this. You can see this one here signed by Claremont. It's a pretty high grade copy, but it also has a signature inside by John Byrne. It's hard. I don't want to mess it up because I need to press it, but you can see the burn there on the bottom. So John Byrne and Chris Claremont, for the most part, hate each other. If Claremont has signed, or if Byrne has signed a book, Claremont usually won't sign it, and vice versa. Byrne also only signs in like black marker. He won't really sign in pen. He won't sign in colored inks. Inside of that's black marker. But luckily, the guy who got this signed, and I bought this already signed, he got it signed by Claremont at the show, but the Byrne signature is on the inside of the book, so Claremont didn't know that it was signed by Byrne. So it is the first appearance of Sabretooth. It's a pretty high grade. I'd say it's probably 9.2, 9.4. So again, I'm not sure if I'm going to keep this one or try and flip it. I definitely can turn a profit. I'm definitely going to send it to CGC and have the signature certified. I'm very confident. Claremont is unmistakable. You can't forge it and you can't mistake it. Byrne's signature evolved a lot over the years, but he's got a very specific way he does the Y. It looks like an S almost, or I'm sorry, the R looks like an S almost, and then his E is always a big looping E. So I'm pretty confident that's a legit signature. So yeah, those were my comic and book related pickups. I did pick up a print that I thought was really cool. It's a little harder to show it, but I just thought it was a really cool print. So it's Batman and a Joker riding a tandem bike. Batman's eating an ice cream cone, little double scoop. You can see in the background, there's a Batman kite flying. And then it's hard to see it on the camera, but Superman's in the background. He's flying. He's got a banner behind him that says Bruce Wayne is Batman. Again, I just thought that was really cool. It was done by, an up-and-coming artist, so I always like to support them when I can. And I really like that. I just thought that'd look good on my wall or in my office at work. So picked that up. I think it was $25, something like that. And then the next thing I'm going to show you, and then I'm going to flip the camera around and kind of go through it. So I always like to go on Saturday to C2E2 because what they do after the show on Saturday night every year, it starts at 7 o'clock. They have a charity auction. And it's all just original artwork and like signed pieces and stuff. And all the money, all the proceeds they make go to St. Jude's, which is, a great hospital if you're not familiar with it. It's for, for sick kids. It's 100% free for anyone that has a kid that needs it. So all the proceeds from that, all the things you bid on, it all goes to charity. So I bid on and won an X-Men print. And what's really cool about this X-Men print is it's not just a print. This is an exclusive C2E2 print. You can only get it at the show. It's a Tyler Kirkham print, but it's hard to see. And like I said, I'll flip the camera and let you see it. It's signed by every single person that's in the animated series, as well as Tyler Kirkham, who drew this. So I think there's 16 signatures in total on this. I got it. Well, I'll just say, sure, I paid $250 for this. It would cost $700 just to get the signatures on it, not to mention the time waiting in line. And it's really cool. So I'll flip the camera around. I'll kind of go through all the signatures on it for you. All right, so first one up, you can see there's Nightcrawler, and that's Adrian Huff. And then you go over here, and that's Lenora Zahn. She played Rogue. Go up here, and you see Storm. That's Allison Seeley Smith, signed there. You can see right there in the pink, that's Tyler Kirkham. He's the one who did the actual print. So he did the artwork for this print. So just above Gambit there, you can see that's actually Professor X. he's not on the print anywhere. The guy who played Professor X, he did also sign this, even though he's not on it. So that's Ross Markram. You go over here to Wolverine. There's Cal Dodd from the original series as well as the new series. Next up over here is Bishop, Isaac Robinson Smith. Down here's Jubilee. There's actually two different people who have played Jubilee. So you have the original, from the original animated series, Allison Court, and then Holly Cho, who does the Jubilee 97. So they both signed it, both put, Jubilee. So that was kind of cool. And then you have Magneto right here in the middle. Magneto's Matthew Waters. Then you go over here to just underneath Gambit is Gambit's signature, JJ Lacasio. Down here you got Cyclops. So this is Ray Chase, signed right on top of Cyclops. I love this. So Morph, who's not on here anywhere, because if you're familiar with X-Men, Morph can change to anyone. So he put Morph, but it's actually Mr. Sinister. So I thought that was just kind of neat of him to do that. So that's JP Karliak. Then down here you have Larry Houston. He actually directed the original series. His signature there. Then over here you have Jean Grey, so that's Catherine Disher. And then Sunspot over here in the green, and that's Guy Agostini. So again, pretty cool. It's a big piece. It's 11 by 17 standard print, but it's got a lot of signatures on it. Like I said, I think there's 16 in total. I'll be honest, this is probably $1,000 piece. And I got it for $250. And like I said, the cool thing about that is all the money I spent on it goes to charity. It's, helping out kids that need it. So, and I don't know why that's spinning like that, but yeah, it's spinning around. So let me flip this back around. All right, so that's it, guys. Like I said, I got some pretty cool stuff. I'm very happy with the stuff I picked up. Prices were good. Really happy with the print, and that it goes to a good cause is even better. And it's a tax write-off. It's a charitable donation, so I can write it off on the taxes. So a lot of good artists donate a lot of cool stuff for that event. But yeah, if you have events in your town, even if they're small events, go to them. They're a blast. The cosplay and what people come up with is fantastic. Like I said, if you stick around to the end of this, there'll be some footage of some of it. I'm sorry I didn't get more. It's just very hard to really enjoy the show and try and record and go through all that. So I didn't get much footage, but I did get some, so check it out. I know I owe a second part to the video from earlier this past week. It will be coming up next. I just didn't want to wait on the C2E2 stuff since it's Sunday night here, and my feet are killing me. My hips hurt. My back hurts. It was a long 3 days. I got a lot of steps in, but I had a great time. So check out Chonko's channel and stick around right after this. We'll get into just the footage here from the show. All right, guys. So we're getting close. About 3 miles away from the city. You can see there, driving in some traffic here downtown Chicago, or just on the outskirts. Still about 2.5 miles away from the city. I'm not sure how well the buildings show up, but you can see the downtown's right there. We're going to be more to the right of that is where McCormick is. So heading to C2E2, should be there in about 5 or 10 minutes. And we'll get parked, and the next thing you should be seeing should be inside the convention center. So we'll see you guys in just a minute. Alright, so if you guys stuck around all the way to the end of this, we're right on top of the 2,500 mark if we haven't hit it already. Leave a comment, get your chance to win, and good luck, guys. And we'll see you in the next video.